Furious 7, or Fast and Furious 7, whatever you want to call it, is not directed by Justin Lin, who did Tokyo Drift up to 6. This is directed by James Wan, who directed horror films. And this, once again, stars the Fast and Furious crew once again. This was released 2 years ago, 2005. And this is the send-off to Paul Walker's character, Brian O'Connor, along with his wife as well. Along with Brian O'Connor's wife as well. And this is the 7th Fast and Furious film. And this is basically a revenge story. Jason Statham's character's Shaw, whoever the character is, and the Fast and Furious crew are basically all having revenge on each other, for both of their teams have died. Han has died, and the character played by Jason Statham's brother died. Well, the character that Jason Statham's playing, you know what I mean. Okay guys, since this is the longest Fast and Furious film so far, and it shows a lot of things, this is probably going to be the most spoiled one in the series I'm going to do in my reviews. And also, I'm going to talk some more stuff in it, so it's probably going to be the longest review out of all the Fast and Furious films reviews. So anyways, let's get into this, shall we? So guys, if you know, I really love Fast 5, which is my favourite one in the series. Then Fast and Furious 6, which I think 5 is better, but still 6 is an awesome time to watch. Furious 7, yeah, it's a ball to watch as well. I really enjoy this as well. This has a lot of great things as well. And there's a lot of action in there. It's either this or 5 as the most action-packed in the series so far. I haven't seen Fate of the Furious yet, but for what I've seen so far, 7 and 5 are the most action-packed for what I've personally seen. All the coming characters are great once again. Vin Diesel, Paul Walker. Rest in peace, Paul Walker, once again. You have nearly died like 4 years ago. Wow, that's insane. You are great in the series. Rest in peace. And Dwayne Johnson. He has 2 great scenes in this movie. There's one particular which I am going to mention now. It's him and Jason Statham's character. They're both going at it and cheat each other. It is great stuff. We'll talk about Dwayne Johnson as Luke Hobbs a little later on. The action sequences alone in Fast and Furious 7 are absolutely fantastic. I mean, just seeing the cars, everything, the plane, you know, everybody's coming down, and there's a scene where Trace Gibson's character, if I've pronounced his name right, I thought the other guy was called TJ, but it's Tej, not TJ, whatever. I said this before loads of times, guys, and my apologies, so forgive me. I am terrible at name spellings. I'm a terrible speller. Forgive me. There's this funny scene where Gibson's character just stays up there and everybody else comes down. Then Tej presses that button, and then the other guy falls out and he's like, "Tej, what are you doing?" It's so funny. And then everybody lands. And then they get this awesome action scene where you get this bus and it's machine guns. Oh, it's so good. And especially Paul Walker in the action scenes let's just all forget about The Rock for a wee minute. To say that this is Paul Walker's last movie ever, props to you. Rest in peace again. Props to Paul Walker from the grave. He was awesome in this action scene on the bus with all the machine guns and everything. Oh, it's so good. And he jumps off and the bus just crashes down. Oh, it's so good. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the Oscars, it had one of the biggest snubs I've seen in the biggest snub in 2016 Oscars for the 2015 movies. The biggest snub I saw was See You Again not being nominated for Best Song. Now I know it's too predictable to have a film from a franchise to get nominated for Oscars or BAFTAs or whatever that British is called, and Golden Globes or whatever. I know there's a YouTube show called The Next Gen and the U Reviewers, which just finished, by the way, guys. Well, I got to say this, it's been 7 years since we've had a YouTube film show. It's really good. Comment down below, let me know what you think of that. I feel See You Again should have got nominated. I mean, Writings on the Wall for Spectre Bond movie. It was an okay song. It was an alright song. I just feel like See You Again should have been on that. Not to mention the ending with the CGI Paul Walker. I didn't actually have a problem with the CGI Paul Walker. He's like, hey, you thought you'd come out and say goodbye? I love that, it's so good. Then you have the See You Again scene, and that ending. Where Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor just go different directions and you see Paul Walker CGI in the white car just going off. Oh, it's so cool, and then that's the film over. Which I do have a couple of negatives, because I think 5 and 6 are slightly better than this. I still love Furious 7 for what it is. I still think it is a great film in the series, but it does have some negatives. The Rock as Hobbs is like the best, one of, if not the best, Fast and Furious character. Especially in the action scenes he's in. There was he had a great scene towards near the beginning. But he's only in this movie a couple of times because he's basically in hospital, and yeah, I mean, he is good in action scenes, but there's an extended version on the Blu-ray back there, if you can see. I watched the extended version yesterday. I think I've watched the extended version twice now, yes. And he's still barely in it. He's not, I couldn't even see what was in it. I think there's some other pacing issues. I think the theatrical cut is slightly better, because Paul Walker is, no, sorry, The Rock, sorry, is barely in this, so yeah. Yeah, and there are some scenes that lack down. A lot of the Fast and Furious films do have that, some pacing issues as well, but you know. So overall, guys, Fast and Furious 7, or Furious 7, I'm gonna call it the title because it's for the Americans, because a lot of people live in America anyways. Furious 7 is still one of my favorites in the series. It's still going to be ranked high on the list whenever I put my ranking of all the Fast and Furious films whenever I do that on the letterbox list. The letterbox link will be in the description below. But anyways, I'll say that I'll say that later on. Fast and Furious 7 is great to watch, great action. It's a great ending. I feel like this should have been the ending of the Fast and Furious film franchise. If Fast and Furious 7 was the final one in the Fast and Furious, if this was the ending to the Fast and Furious franchise, then this would probably be my favourite one in the series. Yes. But I'm still looking forward to Fate of the Furious nonetheless. Overall, guys, on my rating scale, I'm going to give Furious 7. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 as well still. Simply because the action sequences are fantastic. Yes, The Rock's barely in there, but the other characters are pretty good as well, I would say. It doesn't matter if The Rock isn't in it much. I do prefer 5 and 6. But still, this is a fun time to watch, still, Furious 7. Alrighty guys, that was my review on Furious 7. Or Fast and Furious 7, if you're in the UK, like I am. I am going to prefer it from now on, but I am going to call this Furious 7. It's for the American people. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this whole Fast and Furious series. It's finished now, but we have one more film, and that is The Fate of the Furious. Boy, am I looking forward to seeing that, and it'll be up. And guys, check out my ranking, my list of rankings of the Fast and Furious films, from my favourite to my least favourite. Look forward to that, guys. I'm looking forward to bringing that to you on my Letterboxd account. The link will be in the description below. Comment down below, let me know what you think of Furious 7. And let me know what your favourite film in the series is so far. And tell me where would you rank Furious 7 in the series. As always, comment, like, and subscribe. All my other social media links are in the description below. Check out my ranking for Fast and Furious on Letterboxd. And for my Fate of the Furious review, or any other video maybe. I will see you guys next time, and peace.